Sometimes another set of eyes or ears is all we need. Let me explain. I had an interesting encounter the other day with one of my peeps on Patreon. She pointed out something to me that had not occurred to me, which could actually have a big impact on whether people follow me on Patreon or not. This really blew my mind because I feel like I have a handle on things. I mean, in my creative work. I'm creative in a variety of ways, and I put a lot of effort into making sure that I do things well. I dedicate a lot of thought to my creativity, so I feel like these kind of things shouldn't slip by me. First of all, I should explain that I started a short form video series this year, which is visible to paid members and free members alike. That's right, you can follow on Patreon for free now. Check it out. So anyway, I do these shortish videos where I'm walking my dog and basically just talking off the top of my head about different ideas. Usually it has something to do with a future podcast episode that I'm working on. Great, but I live in Iceland, a beautiful place. I'm not bragging, just stating a fact. I live in a place that most of the world thinks is pretty exotic, and everywhere I go as a touring musician, somebody tells me, "Oh, I'd love to go to Iceland," or "I've always wanted to go and it's on my bucket list," something like that. So here I am in the land of ice, and I realized that I go out all the time walking with my dog, and I have this internal dialogue where I'm working through ideas. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool to let people see that somehow, the ideas that I'm working on for Keep the Flow, and they get to see the beautiful Icelandic scenery and my dog as a bonus. But I decided to call it Hiking with Penny. Penny is my dog. But right there, I just illustrated something without even trying. My dog's name is Penny. Why would I expect anyone to know what my dog's name is? But beyond that, as my patron Annika pointed out, the series isn't even really about hiking. She had been following me for months without ever watching one of my Hiking with Penny videos because she's not into hiking. She's not an outdoorsy person and she's not into pets. But then she clicked on one, probably by accident, and realized that it's actually about developing ideas. My head pretty much exploded when she told me this, and it reminded me of a LinkedIn post that I saw from a British designer that I follow there, James Martin. He posted this picture with the text, "Don't take life too seriously, but always get another set of eyes on your work." That's so true, and now I know why. I named it Hiking with Penny because I assumed everybody would know what it was about. Actually, also a nod to Kevin Nealon's series on YouTube called Hiking with Kevin. But why would I expect anyone to come to Patreon and see Hiking with Penny and think it would be about ideas? And I would love some new name ideas here in the comments, if you would be so kind. So far, I'm thinking something like Thoughts in the Wild, or something. But go nuts, take your best shot. So sometimes we just don't see what seems obvious to someone else, especially when we're so close to the thing we're working on. We lose perspective. It's great to have people who can take a look at it from a distance and be honest with us about it. We all need those people in our lives who can constructively point out the things we might have overlooked because we're so close to the work. It's easy to forget that or feel like we don't need anyone else weighing in on our work because we're the experts, right? We're working on it every day. We care so much about every little detail. We would never send something to print with a typo, right? Yeah. Actually, yeah, I've done that. My last vinyl album had a mistake which caused me to stop the printing and resubmit the project, which caused it to be delayed. Luckily, I was the client, so hey, no complaints. But I think if there had been a client, then there would have been more eyes on it and the mistake would have been caught earlier. So there's a balance we need to find between feeling super confident in our abilities and knowing we're not perfect. We're not infallible. And that everyone can benefit from someone we trust taking an unbiased look at our work. And that shouldn't mean less confidence in ourselves. It just means we're human. Please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I'm putting out episodes like this every week that look under the hood of the creative process to keep our creative engines humming. And if you haven't already, I know I say this every time, but if you haven't already, please go review the show over at Apple Podcasts to help like-minded people find us. It actually really does help. And by the way, the patron that helped me out, her name is Annika Laserte of the Handcrafted Story. She does beautiful print work, and I'll link to her in the description. Thanks, Annika. That's all I got for today. Thanks so much for hanging out. I'll catch you in the next episode. Until then, keep the flow.